so you went over to Heather's house when?
It was whatever day I came into town. It had to be either Thursday, or Friday, or Saturday. No, let me see. She works, you guys can help me out with this. She works Sunday through Wednesday, so it was one of her days off, because she had a date that night, and she just asked me to leave.
Okay.
And I said, okay. And so then I went out to Troy's.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, I'm really confused, because I don't know you, and I'm not sure if you're confused about it.
I probably don't articulate stuff as good as I should.
And that's totally fine. That's the reason why we're here to work out. We're going to work this out and try and understand everything that's going on. So, from what I'm assuming that you just said last week, either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, you went over to Heather's house?
Yeah.
Okay, and she had a date?
Yeah, she told me she had it. Because I said, are you busy? You want to get her kids? I said, you want to get the boys together? Let's go eat. Let's go do something. And, oh, by the way, if I can find you my phone, I'll take everybody out to eat. Because I love her boys. She's got 2 twins and then an older one. And she just told me no. She has a date. But she gave me $100 for my phone until my unemployment came through, because I was waiting on that.
Okay.
And it finally came through.
Okay. And so, so where does Troy work at?
He owns Bonnell Trucking.
Bonnell Trucking?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where's that at?
It's in Greeley.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you've been living at Bonnell Trucking in the shop?
Yeah, well, actually, his house is right next to the shop, and he gave me a room in the basement. He said $500 a week and free room and board, and then he'll pay me more as things progress better, because he's getting ready to sell a part of his property.
Okay. When was the last? Okay, so and just so I understand, you said that you live at 3 different locations.
Yeah.
So Heather's, Bonnell.
And then my sister's over in Parachute.
Okay, when was the last time you're at your sister's house in Parachute?
I'm terrible with dates, but it was... Yeah, I don't know, not too long ago, maybe 8, 9 days.
8, 9 days ago?
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Maybe if that long. Yeah, if you give me a piece of scratch paper, I could draw a little calendar, and maybe I could try and figure it out. I'd be within 2 or 3 days.
Okay. Maybe we can do it on the board or something like that.
Okay.
So sister, what's her name?
Shelley.
Shelley? Is
Yeah.
it Quintana?
No, Brinklow.
Brinklow.
Yeah.
Brinklow?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's 4 years older than me.
You were born in what,
72.
72.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes you 48 right now?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's 52?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm 48, she'd be 52.
Okay. And...
Almost 53.
Oh, I'm sorry. Almost 53. Okay.
Yeah, her birthday's next month.
Okay. And then, so Troy Bonnell, and do you know his address?
No.
Okay. All right. But but it's the trucking company is right next door to where he lives.
Yeah, well, he's got a ranch, and so he keeps his semi on the ranch, and he had 4 semis at one point, but he had to downsize. He just went through a divorce. So it's not like a really big fancy shop. It's just a 2-bay shop. I do most of the semi work out in the dirt.
Okay.
But it's all the same property, where he parks his truck, where the garage is at, and where the house is.
Okay. So what do you do for a living?
Anything, whatever it takes to make a living. I'm a really good mechanic. I'm a really good welder. And I can do anything in the oil field. I've worked the oil field most of my life.
Okay.
I'm a really good carpenter. I can build furniture. I've been blessed with just like amazing ability to do just about anything. Wow.
Okay. Do you work for somebody or are you self-employed?
Tried starting a company after I worked for Clearwater for like the last 4 or 5 years as a shop mechanic.
Are you working for them right now?
No, they laid me off in October. And then we had a huge fight, and I wasn't able to find any work over here. And that's when I went, so basically I hadn't had anything except temp service work until Troy since October.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so currently not working, and...
Wait, no, I'm currently working for Troy.
Oh, currently working for Troy,
Yeah.
but you said it was only temporary type stuff.
Well, I'm sorry, I totally misspoke. When I got laid off from Clearwater, it was temporary work, and that was all. I was having a hard time finding that, and then Troy called and said, hey, I'll give you, full-time, $500 a week, free room and board. Come over and help me.
Okay.
And so that's what brought me back over the mountain.
Okay.
Last week.
So I'm sorry, so you're working for $500 a week, paid by Troy, and then you're turning around and just using that as your room and board, is that correct? Is that how I understand this?
Really close. It's $500 a week plus free room and board. So,
okay, all right. But
because I enjoy seeing Heather every chance that she will allow me to see her, any chance I can. I mean, I go over there and I stay at her house.
Okay.
I'd much rather be with her than...
Okay, so when was the last time that you stayed with Troy?
Last night.
Okay, you were at Troy's last night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, for most of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a lot of driving around.
Okay. Where'd you drive to?
All over the place, all the different places that we used to drill.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just looking at all the old well sites. I was, what do you call it? When you're upset and you're melanarchy, is that even a word? When you're upset and you're sad?
Melancholy?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I think that's it. Yeah, that's definitely the word. I don't know if that's exactly, I think it fits how I was feeling.
Okay.
I was just, real depressed and just wanted to just get out and drive, and that helps.
Why were you depressed? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, no, I don't, because Heather's just mad at me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't understand why she gets mad at me. Well, she's mad because I'm working for Troy. She doesn't think her and Troy don't get along.
Okay.
And she thinks that, she just wants me there with her all the time in her mind, but then the reason I don't do it all the time and always have a backup is because at the drop of a hat, she'll get a call from an ex and she'll be like, hey, you need to leave. And it's like, well, where am I gonna go? I got all my ducks in this basket with you, babe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's really got to be frustrating for you.
Yeah, it was like a yo-yo. And that's what my sister said, don't you ever dare to go back to her. I couldn't even hardly speak a sentence without crying when I made it over there with my sisters in January. I was such an emotional wreck. But she helped me get back on all my meds, and everything smoothed out, and not being yo-yo.
Okay. Do you mind if I ask if you're still on your meds? Are you on your meds right now?
No. No. I've been drinking. I self-medicate like that.
Okay.
The day, that would probably really help us figure out the day I came over, but I had an appointment with my doctor to get my prescriptions refilled the day I left to come back over, so I came over without my meds, but I called the crisis line, and I told them, hey, I'm here, I came over here. So I was in the process of getting it in to see a doctor, but they said they don't do scheduling, and I was like, well, it's a crisis, I need my meds, somebody's gotta help me, you know what I mean?
So was your appointment over in Parachute or over here?
I didn't
Was
understand.
your appointment over in Parachute or?
Yeah, it was in Parachute, because after the breakup and Heather and I moving out and everything else, or me moving out from Heather just as a self-preservation tactic. It didn't work out very well because I still just self-destructed. But my sister seen me, she saved me, and she got me over there. She's like, yeah, gym membership and trauma therapist and the doctor for your meds. And she got me all on all that, like right away. She got me on Medicaid too. So it's like, well, I lost my insurance from work. I can't afford to go see a psychiatrist.
Your sister seems like a very nice lady.
She's absolutely awesome. She's
She's taking care of you.
yeah, and she's taking care of 3 autistic grandchildren. Yeah, and the husband who's starting early stages dementia.
Sure. So you said 8 to 9 days ago, you were at your sister's,
Yeah,
and then you drove from Parachute to, I'm assuming the Greeley area, because we haven't talked
Yeah.
about any other areas except for Greeley.
I came over. I was really stressed out about the money and the finances and all that, and sort of needing to be on my meds and everything. I drank, and my sister locked me out, changed the code on the door because she's got 0 tolerance for that.
Okay.
And so, I assumed that that's why she changed the code on the door, is because I drank. She said she changed it for the neighbor. There's a little kid that was running in, and they got a code on their door to get in and out. And she said she changed it because of that. Well, when I got home from work and it was changed, I was just like, well, she's just tired of me like everybody else. You know, like I tried and it didn't work out. So that's when Troy had been calling me for probably 6 weeks prior to that. And then that's when I said, well, I'll just drive over. Because my phone was shut off, and I was like 2 weeks from losing my car, and so yeah.
So 8 to 9 days ago, you came back over here to Greeley, and you got your place with Troy set up, and you've been staying with Heather, and seeing Heather back and forth, off and on between Troy's in here, and Heather doesn't like Troy, and stuff like that. So when was the last time you actually saw Heather?
It was yesterday. We went to, she asked me to run her to Loveland so she could put money in her ATM so she could make her car payment.
Okay. So one of the things that you had talked about is that you are a kind of like a self-made guy with your hands. You work with your hands a lot and stuff like that.
Yeah, I didn't really blast.
So you had talked about how you drove from Parachute to Greeley, and then you talked about how you work with your hands and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that you got some sort of a truck or a construction truck or something like that?
No. I got a little itsy bitsy baby Subaru Crosstrek that gets great gas mileage.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great gas mileage. Okay. All right, and so was the Crosstrek the vehicle that you got contacted in today?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only vehicle I own.
So let me try and do this for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday,
Okay, I see what you're doing.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Can we just put today's date on there?
Okay.
So what we're trying to do is pin everything down to what day.
Okay, so let's do another one then.
Okay.
Because actually,
Yeah, because I'll have to start from here and try and work back
okay.
if I can.
Okay, so today is Sunday the 16th, 15th, 14th, 13th, 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th, 5, 4, 3, 2, and this is February.
Okay.
Okay, and so tomorrow's the 17th. All right. So you said 8 to 10 days ago. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So around in here, you came back from Parachute. Is that correct?
I believe so. I
Okay.
believe so.
Remember what day of the week it was?
I think it was, I know it was either Friday or Saturday.
Okay, so you're back from Parachute either Friday
Yeah.
or Saturday, okay? And she said that she had a date that night, so either Friday or Saturday night, usually people aren't working and they're going out on the town because that's when all the fun stuff's happening, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. When they don't have to work the next day.
okay.
Yeah.
And so,
How long does it usually take you to drive from Parachute over here? I'm sure you've done that job quite a bit.
Anywhere from 6 hours to like 4 or 5 days, depending on, because you gotta go over Bell Pass. And
Oh, okay.
this last trip coming over took me a couple days because they kept closing everything.
all right, so you left on one day and you showed up on the next day?
Yeah, like a couple days later, because I'm thinking, my appointment with my doctor was either the 3rd or the 4th. Yeah,
Okay,
and I left either the morning of the appointment, wait, I think so. No, it was the evening before the appointment, because it's when I got home from work. Yeah,
okay. And so it took you a couple days. Where did you stay on your trip?
I just slept in my car, because I was pretty much, I was down to my last credit card, and I only had so much on it, and I was trying to make it last.
For gas and whatnot.
Yeah, for gas and food and smokes.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've made lots of money. Like last year I only worked, to me it's lots of money. Last year I only worked 9 months and I almost made 100,000. So it's really hard to go from that to, nothing, like making even 100 a day when I'm used to making 300-400 a day.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a culture shock, but
Hey, I understand and I'm sorry about that.
that's just the way things are. It is what it is. At least I can work.
So let me ask you this, where does Heather live? I don't think that we ever talked about that. Where does Heather live?
I guess you could, in Greeley.
Okay. Do you know her address?
Yeah.
What's her
I
address?
lived there for 5 years. I lived there, 2162 35th Avenue, Court, Unit 2.
I'm sorry, say that again. 30,
21.
okay.
62 35th Avenue, Court, Unit 2.
Okay, so where's that at? Because I don't know Greeley all that well, so I get confused with all the avenue, courts, streets, roads. They put like, so that really confuses me.
Yeah,
So-
Greeley was a hard place to learn because, do you know Greeley West High School? It
I think,
is,
yeah, I think I know where it is.
it is directly north of the high school,
Okay.
at the end of the cul-de-sac.
So you can see the high school from her house?
Yeah,
Oh.
from the garage you can. The house is kind of around on the side.
Okay. So, so she lives at, I'm sorry, 2162 35th Avenue Court? Okay, I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget it, 35th. Okay, and is she there now?
Do you know what time it is?
It is almost 11 o'clock in the morning on Sunday.
No, she's at work.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does she normally get to work?
She drives her car.
What kind of car does she have?
It is a 2017 ruby red Ford Fusion.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where does she work?
At Doug's in Loveland.
Okay.
Doug's Day Diner.
So let me ask you this, so you said that you drove around a lot last night, feeling melancholy, going in between the drill sites and stuff like that. And you also said that you had seen Heather last night. What time was it that you last saw Heather?
It was probably whenever we got back from Loveland. I don't know, 3:34,
Okay.
maybe.
And she got some money into her ATM so she can make a car payment.
Yeah, that's why we went up there. And then we shopped because I got my unemployment, so I bought some clothes. Because of the way I left my sister's, I was working with one set of clothes.
Okay. So did you gave her some of your unemployment money to make her car payment?
No, she had her own money. Yeah, she had her own money. Yep. Yeah, she was just gonna go do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, when you left her yesterday afternoon, 4 o'clock, how was she doing?
She was mad at me.
Okay, why was she mad at you?
Yeah. Because I told her that she told me she didn't want me to work for Troy. And I told her, well, I've got to have a place to stay when you get mad and you throw me out.
Okay.
I said, I've got to, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then she said, well, just go out there now, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I said, that sucks.
Okay. And so, did she discuss with you yesterday what her plans were for this week? What she had going on?
For this upcoming week?
Yeah.
Oh, just like what she has going on all the time. No, she didn't discuss anything with me. But she normally works Sunday through Wednesday.
Okay.
So, I mean, and then sometimes she'll work extra.
And forgive me, and I'm still trying to understand you. She works at Doug's Day Diner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good place. They got some great breakfast burritos over there.
All their food is awesome, unless you work there and you get tired of it. Because I always want to eat there, she doesn't ever want to eat there. And I'm like, oh, please.
So she was supposed to work today, so she's probably down there now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So when was the last time that you actually stayed the night at her house? So this is today?
This is today?
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Absolutely, right away, do your thing.
All right, there's just a mark.
So you stayed this last night?
No, I just wanted to know what day we are
So I'm
today.
gonna do this, I'm gonna write this, we'll do today,
Okay, thank you.
okay?
Yeah. Okay. So, the 14th?
Okay. Did you guys do anything fun for the 14th for Valentine's Day?
No, because we had a disagreement on the 13th. I was trying to make it home from work soon enough to go to the grocery store and try and get my phone so I could call and get my meds set up. And then I was going to surprise her with the dinner and then breakfast in a car on the 14th. And we got into a fight.
What was the fight over?
It was over.
It's okay. I'm not gonna judge you.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm sure it was something I did wrong, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know, I pissed her off somehow, but she didn't throw me out,
Okay.
so that was good. But it just like ruined everything.
Sure.
Yeah, I asked her to marry me. Yeah. Yeah, I asked her to marry me. And she said, there's no way she can marry me.
Okay.
And so I just,
How did that make you feel?
deflated. Yeah, just like a worthless pile of shit.
Oh, yeah. So let's go back to last weekend. So you said that you got back into Parachute. I'm sorry, from Parachute, you went over to Troy Bonnell's and then you went over and saw Heather. Have you been staying with Heather since you got back, either on the 6th, 7th, and 8th?
No, it was a couple days after I stopped, and she told me she had a date, and she was just real standoffish.
The date, either on the 7th or the 8th? Okay.
Yeah, it was whatever date, yeah, that I finally made it over the pass.
Okay.
Man, I'm sorry, I can't really remember if... Yeah, I don't even know what changed, why she went from not seeing me to, yeah, I couldn't stay the night. She asked if she could use my car. She came out to Troy's and asked if she could borrow my car.
Okay.
Because she said,
What'd she need your car?
well, she's got an interlock in hers.
Okay. And she's been drinking?
Well, I think she was planning on drinking. Then I told her, well, I'm working all day, I don't care if you take it.
Okay. So let's talk about this. So Sunday, if I remember correctly, and help me out if I'm wrong, Sunday the 9th and Monday the 10th it snowed. Do you remember it snowing?
I remember it snowing a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
Was it the 9th and 10th that it snowed?
I think like every other day, it snowed.
Well, I know it's supposed to snow tomorrow, so maybe that might help. Did she come out when it was snowing, or did you get back while it was snowing? Does that help? I'm trying to help you understand
Right.
what we're talking about here.
We had like 2 or 3 snowstorms right in a row. So it was just like, and I was fighting snowstorms coming all the way over the pass. I remember that the roads were really slick.
Okay.
You said she asked to borrow your car.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Did she borrow it?
Well, I told her she could, but I just left the keys, and then I went to work, and then
So you left the keys in the car that was parked at Troy's house,
yeah, I left them on the front tire, not actually in the car.
and then you drove one of Troy's trucks?
Well, no, I'd ride with Troy in the semi.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd ride in the semi.
All right.
Yeah, because we had deliveries to do that day. And I remember it was cold. It was cold. I think it had snowed the day before because the roads were really slick. Sorry, bud.
Okay, so the day before it snowed, so she borrowed your car somewhere on the 11th?
Well, no, because I know that delivery, we had to go to Halliburton on the 10th.
Okay.
Did it snow more on the 9th than it did on the 10th? Do you know?
I believe it started on the 9th and then it ended up stopping somewhere on the 10th. In the afternoon on the 10th.
Right? Yeah, because I was working that afternoon.
Do you normally work on the weekends?
I did, yeah, 24/7, it doesn't matter
Just when something comes up?
whenever we get, yeah, either when something breaks or when there is a delivery to do.
What do you guys deliver?
Chemicals,
Okay.
yeah, oil field chemicals,
Oh, okay. All
yeah,
right.
to the rigs.
Okay.
So I'm thinking maybe, yeah, I don't know, maybe it was the 10th
Okay.
that she asked, but I don't even know if she borrowed it.
Okay.
Yeah, because by the time we got back, no, I don't remember. I was gonna say I was so tired when we got back, my legs were sore. I was soaking wet from working in the snow.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to take a shower and go to bed.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't remember if that's what I did or not. I know that's what I wanted.
Okay. So, okay. And so you said, I want to kind of go back to the night that you saw Heather, and you said that she had a date.
Right?
Tell me more about that.
I've been on the road for 3 days in one pair of clothes. I was really hoping that it would have been different.
What would have been different?
That she would have let me come in and shower, and that it would have been like it used to be between us, you know?
Sure.
Because she's always a great, well, when she's not mad, she's a great nurturer. Yeah, and like she loves to cook, and she loves to feed me. And
You really care about her.
yeah, I just asked her to marry me, you know what I mean? Again.
How many times have you asked her?
3. That's it. Yeah, I asked her in 2014. The Pyramid Place in Vegas.
The Luxor?
Yeah, I rented the chapel, I rented the room, got us airfare for her birthday, all to surprise her. And we got down there, and she told me no. And I was like, all right. And then we got back, and that was when I found out that she was still seeing her ex, Mike, because she was in the shower, and he called. And I was like, I thought you said you hadn't talked to him in a year. He's like, are you back from Vegas? Yeah, I'm ready.
So when you showed up to the house, to Heather's house, and she said that she had a date, was the date already there, or was the date coming?
I don't know. I don't think the date was there, because she did want to talk to me for a couple of minutes. You know, she let me say the piece about the phone. It could have went either way, I don't know.
What do you mean it could have gone either way?
Well, he could have been there, or could not, or she could have been there, or she could have not.
I'm sorry, I'm confused. She could have been.
Heather's bisexual.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't think that her date would have been there. And for her to have the door open and talk to me, but maybe, if her date was like in a shower or something, I don't know. Or if she's just real relaxed.
So she normally invites people over to her house and they just shower in her house?
Yeah, she's got a strange, I don't know what you call it.
Okay.
She called the guy, when we came back from the family reunion, she called the guy that she didn't even know. And he showed up and she disappeared with him for 2 days. And she missed a day at work, almost lost her job.
When was that?
It would have been sometime in September. That was right before I moved out. Because I was like, I just can't handle this no more. I gotta get my own place.
And so when you showed up to her house the night that she had the date, how did that make you feel?
Dejected, maybe.
Angry?
No,
Frustrated?
just disappointed, I guess. Yeah, I gave up being mad at her a long time ago because, like I said, it was no big deal for her to just say, hey, psh, disappeared for 2-3 days. And yeah,
So that's kind of emotional for me. Okay.
Oh, no, that's real emotional. I mean, yeah, I don't want to live no more, you know?
Is that because you're jealous of the lifestyle that she has?
No, it's because she doesn't want me. Yeah, it's because I do everything I can to be a good mate, and we have this agreement, and then she'll just go off, she'll get too drunk, and she'll do stupid stuff and make poor decisions, and disappear for a couple days, and then I always forgive her, and yeah, I just always, but then it destroys a little piece of me every time. It just makes me feel worse and worse and worse. And that's why I had to move out. Yeah, so that there'd be something left of me. And that still didn't work.
So who, besides Heather, I'm trying to understand this, besides Heather being at the house on the night that you showed up, okay, was there anybody else other than the date, or just the date and her? Was her kids there or anything like that?
No, her kids weren't there, so we definitely came out and said hi. Okay. Yeah.
Did she tell you where she was gonna go? Sometimes people, for safety reasons, say, hey, you know, we're gonna go out to dinner, or, you know.
She wouldn't do that stuff with me. She'd tell her kids. She'd tell her oldest son, Alex. She tells him everything.
Okay.
Yeah, she tells him everything. Yeah, no, she wouldn't tell me, anything like that. She just said she had a date and she didn't want to see me that night, so go ahead and leave.
How long were you at the door for?
It seemed like an extended amount of time for her being so brusque. I don't know, probably, 3 to 7 minutes, maybe.
So you're at her front door for 3 to 7 minutes, just talking on the front door. Did you guys actually go into the entryway inside of the house?
No, she kept me on the outside of the screen.
Okay.
And then she went back and got me the money she wanted.
Okay.
What it sounds like to me, Kevin, is you put a lot of effort into this relationship. I mean, you're going out of your way to, you're going to her house. You're putting in the effort. Isn't that be fair to say?
Well, I think
You care deeply for her.
Yeah, and she cares deeply for me. She's got just this thing. Me and her mom talk about it all the time. She's just got this thing where every once in a while she just has to go off and do her own thing. Her mom told me if I didn't care about her, that she'd probably stay with me. And I said, well, that makes no sense. Why would I want to do that? Because
You want somebody that cares for you.
yeah, ideally, even, if it's strange, I don't know. I told her I don't understand how she can say that she loves me when she does what she does. But I'm just wired different. If I love somebody, I can't go screw somebody else. No. But it didn't seem to make any difference to her.
So, well, I guess we kind of need to, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well, I'm thinking that I'm just not too sure about how many days I've actually been here.
Okay.
Because, it snowed a couple times. I went to go try and see Heather's mom, and it was a huge snowstorm that night.
Okay.
Yeah, and my dad. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how much that matters, but
Okay.
yeah. Anyway, I interrupted you. What were you gonna say?
Well, I had a thought and I was gonna ask you a question about something and I completely forgot what it was because I was listening to.
I'm sorry, it'll come back to
No,
you.
it will, and I'm sure that it will. So, so do you know if Heather actually took your Subaru when you let her borrow it?
No, I don't have any idea if she did or not.
Okay. So this morning, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I don't know if she would have or not. Usually she doesn't put gas in it, and I don't remember if it was low on gas or not.
So this morning, you were contacted by Donnie Robbins in the gray truck. And you were at the gas station filling up the Subaru. And you were also filling up a gas can.
It's
Okay.
diesel.
Diesel.
Yeah, for the shop heater.
Okay.
Yeah, it's out of diesel. And I told Troy, since I was gonna go down and get gas for my car,
Okay.
I'd grab down. And I just finished the Subaru, and I was just trying to get the diesel thing to start. And then that's when Donnie showed up.
Okay.
And so,
Okay. And so I can smell on you right now gasoline and whatnot.
right?
Okay. Did you spill some on you?
Yeah, I was burning weeds this morning.
Burning weeds.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and then,
Okay. Kind of like just like garbage, like milk
Yeah.
containers and
yeah, stuff like
paper
that.
towels and whatever.
He's got a pump thing, a weed sprayer,
Mhm.
right? And it kind of like blew up on me when I was trying to pressurize it.
Okay.
Yeah, and it got gas in my car too.
Okay.
Yeah, because I took that and filled out,
Okay.
and then that's when it leaked.
So last night you said that you were driving around feeling melancholy. Where did you drive to last night?
All the old well sites.
Okay. The address of where that is?
Nope, I just don't know how to get there. I've never done any paperwork.
Do you know what road it's on?
No. I know how to find it because there's a trailer on the corner.
What's the trailer look like?
Oh man, I don't know. I just know because I worked for Troy a couple of years ago well, I guess that'd be about 6 years ago. I worked for him for like, I don't know, just a little bit. But that's how I found my way to his place. It was because they put that trailer in. Yeah, and I thought it was always strange. I don't remember what was strange about it, but there's something strange about the trailer. That is close to the highway.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's easy to, you gotta turn right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, so I want to kind of ask you some more questions about something else that we're working on. Okay. And kind of how we got turned around on and made contact with you and why we're here right now. Okay.
Right, yeah, you said, can you tell me anything more about that case in Denver? Like when it happened or anything about that?
I know that Denver PD did something and it had something to do with your Subaru and it having some front end damage on it and stuff like that. Do you know anything about that?
I think, no, there was some damage to my Subaru on the front end that I had repaired.
When did you repair that?
Oh, last year.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I was coming over from seeing my brother on Grand Mesa, and my nephew Tanner was with me, and we hit a green reflector pole, and it gave my car
One of those little things that flaps and
Oh, no, this one's solid steel.
Oh, it was.
Two stories, yeah, they stack them.
Oh, for the tall snow.
Yeah. Yeah, but we had that, and it just, took the black thing away and cracked that bumper that I just had fixed. Yeah,
So you currently have some damage to the front bumper of your car.
yeah, from that steel post, the green paint's still on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I kind of figure out what's going on here right now, and the reason why we're here is not only to talk to you about that, your last couple of days and whatnot that we've been talking and stuff like that.
So I can't be more specific about all that.
Well, I think that when I tell you what's going on here, I think that there's gonna be some stuff that you're gonna feel a little bit better about and understand, and I think that you're gonna probably be able to talk to us a little bit more about that, okay?
Okay.
And so I'm kind of looking at, Ryan and I are both kind of looking into that, and we're trying to figure out what happened. Okay, what happened to him? And Heather knows him on social media. And just in the course of doing a background investigation, Heather came up and we looked at her, and you came up in that, you know about your warrant. Okay? And so we were wanting to come talk to you to find out about that a little bit more. Okay?
About the warrant?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what you know about Heather knowing this guy. Because we want to talk to Heather as well. And I think she's working, it's 11 o'clock, 11:20 right now. I think she's working till what, 2 or 3 today?
They close at 2, and she's leaves out at about 3:30.
Okay. And so we don't want to go and interrupt her work. Okay?
No.
And I think what happened was we were looking for you, and Donnie just happened to come across you. And that's the reason why we're here today.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, so do you know this guy's name, the musician that's missing? Because she showed you the news article, his name's in there.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure that, what position he places in there too, but I didn't really look at it that much.
How come?
I don't know, that's just an ugly thing.
What's ugly about it? He's missing.
What's that?
I said, what's ugly about it?
My mom died of cancer. That's about the most brutalest thing that anybody could go through. I just lost my aunt to cancer. Death is just, it's painful.
Okay.
But yeah.
So what did Heather say about it when she showed you the news article?
She found it on Facebook. I really don't remember if I had to try and recreate the situation. It was something like, hey, I've watched this guy play. Or, yeah.
Did she tell you that she had seen him at all in the recent weeks? Outside of the bars?
Yeah, but I think that's something that she should probably share with you guys, because yeah, there was there was something that happened between them.
Okay.
And yeah, I remember.
Well, we're here talking to you, and this is a private room.
Right.
And the conversation that we're having right now is between the three of us.
Right.
Okay. And so it would help me, okay, when I go talk to Heather, if I kind of have an idea of what we need to go talk about.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
And you'd be doing me a huge favor if we could do that.
well, I remember she started crying.
When was this?
I think when she showed me the article,
Okay.
or the Facebook thing.
So that was around the 11th or the 12th,
Um,
when that article went out.
okay. Yeah. I don't remember. Whatever day that she showed me that, that's one of the nights I stayed at her house. And,
All right. And so why was she crying? What was she upset about?
man, that's kind of for her to tell you guys. It's like it's real personal. I really felt sorry for her. But it didn't make sense because
I can feel that you're really conflicted over this.
well, I am. It's for her to tell you, but it probably really.
I think it would be easier for her to tell me if I knew already, and I could tell her that I already knew what happened, and that you told me, and then when I go talk to Heather, that it might help her open up about it, that I already know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's the only reason I laugh, just because it's hard to get Heather to open up about anything. I just had
Somebody that she cares about. You. Okay. Tells me what's going on. Okay. So what can she tell you, or what can she tell me that you know about?
Well, that she knew this band member before he went to Tennessee to a blues jam. I think.
Okay.
And then I'm just trying to think exactly
Okay.
in the context that she showed me. So anyway, they came out that she had intimate relations with him.
Okay.
And that it wasn't like really, oh man, I'm trying to think of the right words, but it wasn't mutually agreeable. Is kind of how she made it sound.
Okay.
And then I didn't believe that because she said she took the boys to go see him. And I said, well, why would, if somebody did that to me, I wouldn't ever want to go to wherever they were at again. You know what I mean? I just want to, you know what I mean?
Sure. So let me understand this, okay? So, I mean, that was, bam, that hit me right in the face. So, Heather hooked up with this guy named Scott. Does that sound familiar? Does Scott sound familiar?
I don't know if she ever mentioned, I'm sure, well, I don't know if she ever mentioned his name or not. I don't know.
But it was in the news report, in the Facebook article, right?
Yeah, I was on a phone, I didn't really read it that close. Smaller print.
Okay, so she goes and meets him at some bar in Greeley. And somehow they connect after that, after they meet, and they're intimate with each other. Now, you say that they were intimate with each other, and that's different than what you told me 2 minutes ago about how it wasn't mutually agreeable. So did Heather tell you that the intimacy that they had was unwanted by one of the parties that was involved in it?
That was kind of just where she was headed to.
Okay.
But I didn't really buy it because of the factors that she went to see him after that. And it's like, well, then
When did she go to see him after that?
it was probably the 5th, because she said it was a week ago, and it was on a Wednesday.
Okay. Did she go see him playing?
Yeah,
Okay.
and she took her kids. And that's where I said, you just,
Okay, so who didn't want to have sex in that encounter?
I really wish that, I feel like I'm like betraying a trust if I tell you.
Well, it's easier that you and I talk about it, for when I go and talk to her and I just say, hey, look, I heard that there was some sort of contact between you and this guy named Scott, and it was unwanted. And I leave it at that.
Yeah, he went over to her house. So I think that they've probably been seeing each other for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so the question is who didn't want it? Was it her? Was it him?
Well, okay, she told me that she told him no, and he just kept going, and that he raped her. And I feel bad speaking ill of the dead, right? 'Cause that's not very polite. And I feel bad breaking her confidence. But like I said, I don't know how believable that is, because why would you go back and see him after that? I mean, would I wanted to, yeah, or would you?
That would be tough.
Yeah, she said just because she likes the blues, and I was like, I don't know.
And so she saw him again after that.
Yeah.
She says that this guy raped her.
Well, it just didn't
How does
add
that
up.
make you feel?
I don't think that he actually did. Because,
Why was that?
well, why would she go see him again? You know what I mean? As far as how it makes me feel, rape's a bad thing. And I love her a lot. But she's done a lot of things to get herself hurt. Yeah, I've tried to get in the middle of, and it just backfires on me. So she's her own person, she makes her own decisions, but yeah, I guess it just hurts me that somebody would hurt her like that.
Okay. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on here, and there's a lot of things that are kind of evolving and stuff like that, okay? And I'm curious about that date that she had that night, that you went over there, okay?
Okay.
So, here, I kind of have to go to the bathroom right now. So I'm gonna take a real quick break. All right, and I think I'm gonna run. Are you okay? Do you want some more water?
Yeah, I'll take some more water, please.
All right. Why don't you just hang out here for a second? Do you have to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, no.
Okay. I'm gonna get you some more water.
Okay. I'll just put my head down.
And I'm gonna go back and use the restroom real quick. I think Ryan's gonna step out with me, and then we'll be right back. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Will not tell her I said anything.
No, I'm not gonna tell her anything about what we talked about.
Just about that. Yeah, thank you.
All right, hang tight for a second.
Today's 16th. So. Okay, you're on the 10th. No. My appointment was on the 6th. That was the doctor's appointment. So let me see what I got here.
All right, there's some water with ice in it, nice and cold for you.
Fabulous, thank you.
All right, so we have some more questions for you. We want to talk a little bit more about what's going on with you and Heather and the other case that we're working on and stuff like that, okay? So I was kind of, go ahead.
Well, I remember my doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
I thought it was on the 3rd, and I'm pretty sure it was on the 6th.
Okay, and so you left after the 6th or prior to the 6th?
I probably left on the night of the 5th. It was either, yeah, I missed my appointment, so I'm sure I left on the night of the 5th.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, so there's no way that she could ask to borrow my car here. It was more like Thursday or Friday.
Okay. Well, and I'm going to talk to you here in a second about Sunday the 9th and the 10th, okay? And we're going to talk about that in just one second, okay? So, you just stay awake on me, okay? I know that you've been out all night,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
All right, I know that you've been awake all night, and we know a lot of things about what's going on with this case right now. That's the reason why we're here to talk to you, okay?
All right.
All right, so I want to know about your history.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and that you didn't get any justice for that.
No, I never said that. I never got any justice for that.
Okay,
No.
did you get justice for it?
I don't know. I don't think that justice applies to something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Why would you tell me that I said I didn't get justice when I did it?
Because that's what I'm feeling here, just based on what you're saying, just how you told me.
I didn't even realize that it happened until.
Yeah, and I want to talk to you about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even realize it until I was in therapy. That it had happened. It was so bad it was addressed.
Okay. And where did that happen at?
North Range, I was doing EMDR. puppy.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that's how we figured that out.
Okay. So 20 to 30 minutes ago, you told us that last night you were driving around going to all the drill sites and stuff like that. Okay. We know that that's not true.
Okay,
Sunday morning, okay? We saw your vehicle on the cameras at the Mishawaka Event Center on Highway 14 in the Poudre Canyon, okay? Why don't you tell me about why you were driving up there?
on what day was it?
September 9th, I'm sorry, February 9th,
Right,
during the snowstorm.
September.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the night.
February 9th,
Right.
driving up the mountains, driving up the Poudre Canyon.
Oh, we went to go eat at the, Glen Echo Lodge.
Okay.
Yeah.
You went and ate at the Glen Echo Lodge? Okay. You and who else?
Heather and I.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what time did you guys go up there?
It was early because we ate breakfast. Yeah.
Okay. Why did Heather go with you up on Sunday the 9th up to the Glen Echo Lodge to eat breakfast during a snowstorm?
It wasn't snowing that day. No.
You gotta remember that we got your vehicle on camera driving up Highway 14 in front of the Mishawaka Event Center on Highway 14, going to the Poudre Canyon in a snowstorm.
I guess I'm just remembering because, I don't remember snowstorm when we went up there.
Okay. Do you remember what you had for breakfast at the Glen Echo Lodge?
It was either no, I don't. But I remember our waitress was new. Yeah.
What'd she look like?
Oh, man. You got a lot of faith in my memory.
Well, you remember that you went up there and you had breakfast and that the waitress was new.
Right.
So I'm just assuming that you can remember what you had for breakfast and what she looked like.
Hey, Kevin, there's something else we know too.
Okay.
Saturday night, you, Heather, and Scott were all at Heather's house. We know that. Okay, so why don't you walk us through what happened?
Tell us what happened, Scott.
Three of you were at Heather's house for an extended period of time. We know that is fact.
Until Sunday morning. Here's the thing, Kevin. I think that you want to tell me, all right, and you're struggling with getting over a speed bump. We already know that you were there with Scott at Heather's house, Saturday night, the 8th, at 7 o'clock, between 6 and 7 is when Scott got there, okay? You remember when I told you about they were having communications with each other? We know that you were there, that Heather was there, and that Scott was there, all right? This is not something that we can dispute, right? And so what my purpose is right now is to help you get over that speed bump, okay? Because I know that you want to tell me what
I
happened.
think it was like before when she told me she had a date and she asked me to leave.
Okay.
And that's when I wandered my phone for $100.
Okay.
Tell us about being there with Scott.
Yeah, we know that you were there.
I don't remember anything.
Here's the thing,
Dude
Kevin.
named Scott.
You told us that you proposed to her. I mean, you feel very deeply for this woman.
I love her with all my heart.
I get that. And what you're telling us, there is no doubt that you love her more than anything. And loving a woman more than anything in this world. And, you know, it doesn't sound like she's toying with you, but intentionally, but for her,
Yeah, it's not intentional.
but for her to go out and you know that she had intimate relations with Scott, that's like a, you know, not only sticking something in your chest, but it's twisting it too.
That's
I
going to
can
be painful.
imagine you feel pretty awful.
I'm pretty callous to it from all the years that's been going on.
And you might be callous to it, but there's still something though that, if not, you know, making you feel bad, your pride. Okay?
Oh, no, Scott, and then dude, probably just my self-worth. It just makes me feel like, you know, I try to be everything I can, and I still don't mean nothing to her.
So
I'm sure they do.
So you're at this house with Heather, with Scott, the guy that you know she has slept with.
That would be awkward.
That would be very awkward. Tell us what happened there. When you're with your person you proposed to a week later,
Right.
and Scott's there.
I don't even remember anybody named Scott. But I know,
Did you not know his name?
no, I don't know his name.
All right, so can you tell me what did he look like? Because there was somebody there. Did he have glasses?
I don't remember seeing anybody when I was there.
Were you guys eating dinner?
No, I asked her if we could go out to dinner.
Were they eating dinner?
Um,
Because you've already
I
said
don't think so.
Because you already said that you were there with him. Okay.
No, well,
About 2 minutes ago, you said that.
I said I don't remember him being there when I was there. I was there at 4, and that's when I asked her if we could go to dinner, and if she'd lend me $100 against my phone.
And
And
we know
I
you
got
were
my
there at
new
6:30. We know you were there between 6:30, actually the entire evening you were there.
We know that you were there all
We
night.
know that. We also know he was there the entire evening, and Heather was there the entire evening. When I say the entire evening, all the way up until Sunday morning.
No, that doesn't make any sense at all, guys. I want to hang out with her if she had a dude there. No. No.
And this is your opportunity to get your side out.
We need to get ahead of this, Kevin. We need to get ahead of it, okay? And from what we're talking about here, I can tell just based on your facial expressions that you know some stuff that's going on that you want to talk about. Just like when you were talking about how there was some personal stuff between this guy, Scott, and Heather, okay, that you didn't want to talk about. I think that there is some stuff that's here right now that we need to talk about, okay? And I think that you need to get it off your chest, because I think you're going to feel a lot better once you do. I think that you're going to feel free, and you're going to be able to get all this off your chest. I think that you're going to be able to do something and feel a lot better about this, okay? So why don't we just talk about it? It doesn't hurt to talk.
Yeah, we've been talking
I know.
a lot.
But I think that there's more that you want to tell us about what happened on Saturday night with Scott, okay? And Heather, and what your frustrations were there, okay? We know that you were there all night, okay? And I think that as soon as we can accept that.
I'm not falling asleep.
No, I don't think you are. You're trying to think about what's going on. But I think the minute that we start getting to the acceptance that we know that Scott and Heather and Kevin were inside that house, 2162 35th Avenue Court in Greeley, number 2.
Right.
Okay?
This address.
That's the address. Okay? As soon as we can get past that speed bump of you telling us that you were there and that you had contact with Scott, we can work all of this out. Okay? You will feel free at that point and feel a lot better about this. So let's get past that point and tell me about when you first had contact with him.
I would love to, but I don't remember. I don't remember that. I don't, just like I don't remember it snowing on the morning of the night when we drove up. I mean,
So you did drive up there?
On the night, yeah, we went to eat breakfast
Okay.
at Glenecho Lodge.
Okay. We know that you and Heather were in that car together going up there with your cell phone, same cell phone that you pawned, that you said that, you guys were going up there. It's from 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6:30 in the morning, something like that, very early in the morning. So that puts you leaving her house on 35th Avenue, driving up the Pooter Canyon, okay? Passing the Mitchell Walk and going to the Glenecho, okay? So we know that you two were together.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, you know what doesn't make sense to me?
Well,
Driving an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, almost 2 hours, up to Glenecho when it's snowing, bad weather, on Sunday.
and see, I don't remember it being bad weather.
What's that?
I don't remember it being bad weather. I
Well,
thought it was a pleasant
right,
drive.
we have the video of the weather conditions.
Okay,
When Heather works on Sunday night, on Sunday mornings at Doug's Diner,
right.
we don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to us.
Why didn't she go to work? So we know that you were there. We're trying to understand all of this, okay?
Right, me too.
And here's the thing. This whole case that we're investigating, the press release that you read at her house when she showed you the phone,
Right,
okay?
right.
Okay, where did we find Scott? You said that you didn't want to speak ill of the dead. I told you that he was a missing person, okay? We know that he was with you and Heather the night before at Heather's house. And then we found him on Monday in Pingree Park. Okay?
I remember the title to the article. It said homicide victim. I remember that. Because
We're past that.
Right.
Okay? We are telling you that we know that you and Heather on the 9th in a snowstorm drove up to Pingree Park.
it wasn't a snowstorm, guys.
I can show you the video.
It wasn't.
Okay, well, we're talking semantics.
That is-
It was snowing.
You were there.
Yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't.
So why did you guys go up to Pingree Park? What did you have to do up in Pingree Park?
I don't even remember going to Pingree Park. Or yeah.
You took Scott up there, didn't you? You and Heather took Scott up there.
I've never even seen this dude. You guys are calling Scott.
No,
I've never
no,
even seen him.
we're not talking that, okay? Kevin, we need to get past that. Okay? We have you in the house with him at the same time. Okay?
And I don't believe that either.
Who else was in the house? If you were there,
I don't know who was in the house.
and somebody else might have killed Scott, or whatever, we need to know your side of the story. Okay? Saturday night, Sunday. Talking about Saturday night and Sunday.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was he abusing her when you walked in on it? It's okay. I'm thinking that what happened is that you went over to the house to talk to her again, and he was there, and he was probably getting a little lippy about it. Kevin? I'm thinking that what happened was there was some sort of conflict between him and her, and you wanted to protect her. And things went wrong. Things went bad. And this is when we need to start getting ahead of this. We need to start talking about this right now. Okay? Because I'm not sure if we're going to be able to talk again in the future, and I want to be able to get your story out there. All right? And I think your story is important. I think what happened was that you went over there, and she was there, and he was there, and bad things started happening, that there was some sort of a fight. And you stepped in, and you needed to protect Heather.
Is that what's going on, Kevin?
Tell us. You can tell us. We're not going to be mad at you.
I'm trying to think, guys, really, I am.
It's okay. You can tell us. Kevin?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember.
You're trying to hide from this. You remember.
No, I'm trying to remember. I have where I check out disassociation syndrome.
Because you got angry, you got upset, you were frustrated, you saw something that really bothered you about the contact between Scott.
I don't know why I have disassociation syndrome, but I've had it for years and years and years. And I lose big chunks of time sometimes. Sometimes I'll come out to my car, I'll wake up in my car, it'll be like 4 hours later, and there'll be like flip-flops. I never wear flip-flops. Brand new flip-flops from Walmart. I never shop at Walmart. You know what I mean? This is the type of stuff that, yeah, it's fucking maddening. You guys are sitting here telling me this stuff, and I honest to God, don't fucking remember it.
I think you do. And I think that you need to let it off your chest so that you feel better about this. So that we can get past this point, because right now we're at a roadblock. And as soon as you accept what we're telling you happened, and you tell us what you saw, and we get past that point, then we can move forward. Okay, we were sitting at some sort of a block that I think that you're having a hard time in accepting. And as soon as you accept that, we're good. Okay?
All right. Kevin, tell us what happened on Saturday.
Tell us.
I don't remember, guys.
Yeah, you do.
I think you do.
We also know that you dropped his car off in the King Super's parking lot. Okay? That's
On Tuesday.
That's on security footage.
We have you on security footage driving that car over there, parking it, and then walking back to Heather's house. This is several days. We're talking the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th. There's a lot of things that happened. Why did you drive his car over to the King Supers?
I don't remember driving anybody's car. King Supers except my own.
Kevin, I know that this is tough, but I think that you're almost there to tell us. I think that you want to tell us. I think that you want to get it off your chest.
If if I could help you guys.
I think you want to help us.
I do want to help you guys. You guys have been really cool.
We've been very cool, okay? And I think that you want to tell me.
I want to be helpful, you know what I mean?
I really believe that. But I think you want to, but there's something that's holding you back. And I know that this story about how you can't remember or that you black out, I'm not buying it. And I'm pretty sure that Ryan's not buying it either, okay?
You call my psychiatrist again.
No, that's not what this is about. This is about you remembering what happened. This is about you remembering what happened on the 8th and what you did on the 9th, okay? And how you dropped his car off on the 11th, okay?
And Kevin, these things, they're not disputable. We know they happened. We know for a fact you were at Heather's house Sunday or Saturday all night. She didn't tell you to go away. You didn't spend the night at Choice. We also know that the guy you know is the trumpet player, the band member.
Right.
He was there Saturday night too. So
Yeah, that would have been memorable, guys.
But you can remember, hold on a second. Let's back up for a second. You're telling me that you can't remember what happened on the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, or the 11th. But you can tell me that you know that you remember her having contact with him back in January and about how they were going out on a date and how they had...
In January.
Listen to me.
Okay.
Pay attention to what I'm saying, okay? And that we've got her showing you the press release and that she was really upset about it, okay? So let's get past that. We know that you have memory and that you remember stuff, okay? This stuff about you not remembering, I'm not buying it, Ryan's not buying it. We know that you were there. You know that you were there, and you just want to tell us what happened. And I think that once you tell us what happened, you're going to feel a lot better about it, okay? So just tell us, okay? Let's stop playing games. The faster that we get through this, we can get out of this room, okay? We can go about our lives, okay? So tell us, what happened Saturday night with Scott? He was there. You showed up. Start there. You remember when we talked about how we were all men in this room?
Right.
Let's start being men, and let's start talking about this stuff, okay?
What if I could? I mean, I remember showing up. That's the first place I went when I got into town, and I really don't have any idea what day that was. But I mean, realistically, you guys get pretty technical about stuff. That's your job. That's what you got to do. And I remember it was roughly around 4,
Okay.
and she told me to leave.
And you didn't.
I thought I left and went to Troy's. Yeah. But that's been, I mean,
it's been 1 week.
pardon me?
It's been 1 week. If you did go to Troy's, you went back. Okay, tell us about that. She told you she had a date. You knew if you went back that you might see this guy and confront him about being with Heather.
I remember all that. Well, if he was there, I wouldn't want to be around any of that. You know what I mean?
Why?
Because it's just awkward. I've had her
It frustrates you.
do that before. I don't know what the word is, but
It upsets you.
like I said, I don't know the word. I just know that it sucks. It makes me feel worthless. You know, I like to be around.
I don't think anybody likes to be around that. Anybody likes to be made to feel like they're worthless.
Right?
And
But I guess I am because I can't even remember.
you're not worthless, Kevin.
Yeah, I am.
Why?
Because I can't remember shit.
I think you can.
Well, you guys don't need me to. It sounds like you got everything you need, you know?
Well, we like your side of the story. Because everyone has their side of the story.
I don't think that you intended to go over there and hurt him. But it did. It happened. You went over there, you saw him, and you got upset. And things went bad from there.
I can't even remember being there, guys.
Well, you said that you were there.
Well, I stopped off to ask her out to dinner and see if I could see the boys, see if we could make it like old times, if she would lend me money on my phone. And she said she wouldn't go, but she'd give me money on my phone. Because she had a date, and she wanted me to leave.
And how did that make you
Before
feel?
you got there.
And how did that make you feel? That upset you, didn't it?
No, it was just like, I don't know what you call it. Disappointment. I was just disappointed. But I'm so used to it. Like I said, it's hard to say about somebody that you love, but I mean, she's just, I can't say it, but she's been that way her whole life, man. Her mom even says it. She's always gonna be like that. There's no use in getting upset over it.
All right, Kevin. Obviously, you don't want to tell us what happened on Saturday, Sunday. We're gonna have to. So, we have a tracker on your car. We know exactly where you went last night. Everywhere you went last night. Okay. Tell us what you were doing at the oil sites that you went to. We're gonna go to every single one of them. Understand, right? And I want to get your side of the story. And we can't play this memory thing because you said you remember driving all of the different oil sites. So you know you were there. You told us you were there.
Right, and you guys had a tracker on my car.
Yeah, we have a tracker in your car.
How do you guys get away with that with the 14th Amendment?
It's called a search warrant.
And it's under the Fourth Amendment. Okay.
All right, I was just curious.
Where's Heather?
What?
Where's Heather?
She's probably at work.
She's not at work.
She's
She's not at home, and her car's home.
And we're at her house. Okay?
Staying in her car at her house.
And she's not at her house. Remember,
She could be with Mike. I mean,
You were there last night. You were at her house last night.
I was at her house yesterday afternoon. We spent the whole day together. And then, like I said, she got mad. She's disappeared with Mike for a couple of days before. She almost lost her job over it once. Yeah.
Okay. So, let's talk about what you did Saturday night. You say that you don't remember. You say that you went there, you went back to Troy's house. Okay, we know that's not true, but where did you go?
Saturday night.
Saturday night, when she had the date with Scott.
I don't know. I can't remember Saturday.
Okay, so we're going to talk to Troy. Okay? And Troy's probably going to tell us that you weren't at his house at all over the weekend. Okay? We know that you were there all night long. Okay, your cell phone was there all night long. You were there all night long. Your car was there all night long. And so was Scott and Scott's cell phone. Okay?
who else we talked to? So we're the sheriff's office, Glen Echo Resort. Who do they call when there's emergencies? They call the sheriff's office. We have an incredible relationship with Glen Echo.
Nice.
I know for a fact they have very good security cameras.
Right?
We're not going to see you there on Sunday.
Yeah, you guys will. I promise you. Find that waitress.
You can't describe her to us. You can't tell us who her name
Well,
is.
hold on. Well, I don't remember her name.
You can't even tell us what you had at breakfast that morning.
I can tell you where we sat. I remember that. I remember where we sat. I remember the waitress. She hadn't been there very long. Oh gosh, man, we were really there, guys. We were really there. I can tell you that Heather spent $70 on a 6-pack. No, it would have been $70. When she went upstairs to the liquor store, there should be proof of her credit card receipt. Because I think we paid cash for the breakfast, I don't know. We were really there, we really ate.
Okay, so you were at the Glen Echo. You're saying that you were there. Okay, but either before Glen Echo or after Glen Echo, you took a drive up to Pingree Park. Okay, you went up in the mountains and you were checking Forest Service road gates. And you guys drove up there. Okay?
I think Heather was sick.
Okay. And you guys got up there and what did you guys do?
And she wanted to go up to the mountains. And that made her feel better, so then we thought we'd try and eat.
Okay. And you guys drove up there and what did you do? You guys parked.
I just remember going to Glen Echo.
Kevin,
Okay.
are you covering for Heather?
Did Heather do something?
Was Heather defending herself against this guy? You went over there, she freaked out, there was a mess, and being the devoted partner you are to her,
You helped her, didn't you?
you cleaned up Heather's mess.
It's okay.
Well, I know that I should love her a lot. And now you guys got me worried because she didn't go to work today.
Kevin, let's talk about this weekend. We're not talking about today. Okay. You guys went up to the Poudre Canyon. You went up to Pingree Park. You went up there to drop Scott off. Okay? Because something happened between her and Heather, and you went to help her out because you are devoted to her. You will do anything to help her when she's in a jam. She doesn't respect you, but you will respect her. You will do anything to help her get out of a mess, right?
I love her a lot.
You do.
She loves me.
And you will love her to the point where you will help her do this. Kevin, what happened?
You're saying that this
We're saying that you were there and we know that you were there and you helped her get out of this.
We need to hear it from you, Kevin. We need to hear it from you.
What did Heather do?
I don't know, man. This is just crazy.
What were you doing this past week at Heather's house? Were you helping her clean up?
I always help Heather clean up. She lets her house kind of bad.
Okay, but you were tearing up stuff?
Hmm?
You're tearing up stuff, helping her clean up the mess?
I don't tear up nothing.
Okay.
No. I do her dishes a lot and wipe all the counters down.
Did you help Heather take Scott up to the mountains and drop his body off because you didn't want her to get in trouble? Is that what happened? So if that's what happened, we can make sense of this. But we gotta hear that from you.
Right? I understand that.
We wanna hear the truth from you.
Can you hypnotize me?
No,
No.
you know what the truth is.
No, we're not gonna try and hypnotize you.
You know what the truth
Would it be
is.
easier, guys?
No, what's gonna be easier is if we get past that speed bump and you tell us exactly what happened, because we know that you know what happened. We know that you were up there, that you were at her house all night, and that something happened between her and Scott, and you helped her. It's okay. You know what? We can try and minimize that as much as possible, but we need to know what happened, okay? So why don't you tell us about what happened after the fight?
I don't
You can,
I didn't know that there was a
you
fight.
didn't know. you can tell us that there was some sort of a fight there. If it was between Heather and Scott, or you and Scott, you need to tell us what happened, because we know that you were there, and that something happened, and it was violent, and then you took him up to Pingree Park, and you helped her put Scott up there, okay? We need to get past if it was Heather that did this, or if it was you that did this, but we need to get past it, because Scott, just like you, has a sister that cared about him, that would do anything for him, okay? He has family members that want to know what happened, and you're the only person that can tell us what happened, and you need to tell us. Kevin, you need to tell us. Kevin?
You're obviously devoted to Heather, and you would do anything for her.
And your body right now is telling me that you want to tell me. You're leaning into it. You want to tell us what's going on. You remember exactly what happened that night. And you just need to tell us. You can tell us. Kevin, look at me. You can tell us. Okay? We're not here to hurt you. We're here to help you.
Right.
Okay? You can tell us.
You guys have been really decent.
We're trying to.
Guys.
We are trying to be as decent as possible. We're trying to help you get past that.
Even if it was just to help Heather out.
Can
It's okay, Kevin. You can tell us. You can tell us. Just tell us. You're right there. Kevin, look at me. Tell us. Okay, I understand. You were in a bad spot.
I don't know, man.
You were in a real bad spot, and you are going to feel so much better when you tell us what happened. It's okay.
If I can remember, guys.
You can remember. Kevin, you can remember. You can remember.
And Kevin, the ring on your left finger, you're not married to Heather, okay? People put rings on their left finger when they're devoted to somebody, when they love somebody, when they've made commitment to somebody. I'm assuming that's because you are committed and you love Heather. And that commitment, in your mind, also means helping her out, okay? Heather, she might have made a bad mistake, but that doesn't need to mean that mistake needs to be yours too, okay? It has come to the point where you can't cover for her anymore.
She's got her kids and her job and her car and her place.
Her kids are grown. They can take care of themselves.
Oh, but yeah, they need their mom.
It's okay. They'll still have her mom. Okay?
You know what? You know what, Kevin? Just between the three of us here, Scott was not a good guy. Do you think you did something to Heather? Do you think she's the first one? Hell no.
Scott was a rapist. Okay? Not a good guy.
Hey, Kevin, I've seen your Facebook. You made a comment about pedophiles.
They should be hung.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Okay? Scott was not a good guy. Heather to him was just another conquest. Nothing more than that.
Just another notch in his belt.
You, on the other hand, Heather, you're devoted to Heather.
You know what you showed Heather during all of this? That she can rely on you. That you're dependable. You were doing
I showed it up for years and years and years.
But what you just did was you just showed her. Kevin, it's okay, you can tell us. Scott wasn't a good guy. I know that we don't want to talk ill about the dead, but you know what? It is what it is. Okay? Scott wasn't a good guy. Scott did something to Heather. That pissed you off. That pissed Heather off. Things went bad, and you guys had to clean it up. And we were that far away from knowing everything. Okay?
But we need to hear from you.
We need to hear from you. We do.
We need to hear from you. Tell us what happens.
You're right there.
What happened Saturday night, Kevin?
You went over to the house, you knocked on the door, Heather answered,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
There's a lot more than that, because that's where you're stopping, and that's what you're afraid of. You're afraid of telling us what happened after that. This wasn't just a 7-10 minute conversation about your cell phone, okay? This was about somebody that you love, that you're devoted to. You want to show her that you're dependable.
And here she is, trying to spend time with a guy that is going to take advantage of her.
Well, that's where she's probably at right now. She always gets sleepers.
But no, she didn't, okay, because she's with you. And you're devoted to her. You love her, you're going to do anything for her.
You're right there.
I do
Tell
love
us.
her. I do love her.
Kevin.
You do love her, and that's very obvious. But it's come to the point now where Heather might need to stand on her own a little bit. And you need to tell us what happened. You've tried to help Heather. You tried to protect her from Scott. You tried to protect her from other guys. And it's time now.
I just try and show her what a real man is so she won't go do this stuff with other guys. Get in this
And how did you show her?
situation.
How did you show her?
By working hard, by cleaning house, by loving her, by getting her flowers, by making her coffee in the morning. Just all the little things, you know what I mean? Having the house clean when she got home, if I didn't want it. All the cool stuff you want somebody to do for you, you know? That's how I tried to show her. I remember something upset me so bad I tried to go talk to her mom and my dad.
When was this?
Sometime up here.
We're going to talk about Saturday and Sunday.
Okay,
Okay?
all right.
So did you go talk to her mom or your dad Saturday night after something upset you so bad? Was the night that you went over there, is that when this happened?
I know that when I finally got down to Colorado Springs, her mom was asleep at 9:30. And then I don't know where my dad lives, so then I had to borrow,
But that wasn't Saturday night because you were driving up the Cooter Canyon past the Mishawaka on Sunday morning. Okay? I want to be able to see. Okay?
if I could remember, I'd tell you, man. I wouldn't.
No, you can remember. I know that you can remember. Okay? You can't. You can't wish about this. This is something that was there. Okay? You know Scott was a bad guy. You said that Scott,
I don't even know Scott.
I know, but you said that Scott sexually assaulted her. Okay? Either if you believed it or not, but you, she's saying it happened. Okay? And you wanted to show her how devoted you were.
No, I could show Heather everything in the world and she'd still just be Heather. One minute she loves me, the next minute she don't.
Does she love you right now?
Would have to ask her, I don't know.
Okay, well, where is she at?
I thought she was at work.
She's not at work.
Then obviously she doesn't love me because she's probably screwing Mike again.
Okay. Kevin? Okay, you're not answering a lot of questions for us. You're not
I'm sorry, guys.
You're making this really hard for me right now to understand what's going on, and I want to understand for you.
I don't understand what's going on either. So you're pretty much saying that this dude this musician guy, I'll leave the bad stuff about him out, but
You don't hold on, Kevin. Why don't you just say his name? You can say his name. Scott. Okay? You're having a hard time saying his name.
Yeah, well, I never did it, dude.
You met him Saturday night?
No,
Kevin,
I
look at
don't
me.
remember meeting him. I don't. But yeah, so. That's pretty crazy. That I'm starting to piece it together now.
So, look at me, Kevin. Okay? I'll go back over.
So, I know you guys are probably tired and frustrated, and I'm sorry I can't answer your questions any better, but could we possibly, to help jog my memory, I know you don't believe that I can't remember, put 3 different scenarios together.
What scenarios are we gonna put together?
Here, I got one.
Okay.
I got one for you.
I mean, maybe,
Here's a scenario, Kevin. These are messages from Heather to Scott.
oh, please,
No,
No.
it's not detailed. It's not detailed.
no, I don't want to hear any of it.
Kevin.
That's none, no, please.
Kevin,
She just asked him to come over, okay?
these are the messages from Saturday night.
You're not the bad guy.
I don't want to hear it.
Okay, you're the victim here, Kevin.
No, I'm never a victim.
Okay,
Even when I'm a victim, I don't.
you don't want to see these texts, but it's between Heather and Scott.
Yeah.
She's saying come over, okay? Hey, Kevin, you know what this is? If I looked at this, I wouldn't know what this was either until somebody explained it. So I'm gonna explain it to you, okay? Do you recognize where this is? This is the King Supers,
Oh,
okay?
yeah, so this is
Heather's house, it's right here. Okay? It's kind of hard to see with,
with the line. Can I pick up one cat for just a second?
okay? What I think happened is with these notes, Heather invited him over. Okay, we know she invited him over. Unless you invited him over, pretending to be Heather. But I don't think that happened. I think Heather did it. So she put you in this position. This is not refutable. We can't argue about this. We know you, Heather, and Scott were at the house. You can look at it all you want, but
I just
Kevin,
still can't see her house.
this tells us that we know you, Heather, and Scott were at her house all at the same time. I think what happened, based on these text messages, she invited him over. You had no idea about that. You might have just walked in on something. Okay? Heather put you in this position. We know all 3 of you were there all night. Not just at 6:30. It started at 6:30. And
Yeah, I thought it was 4:30.
okay,
I was
semantics,
on.
4:30, 6:30.
Right.
We
lost
know,
track of time.
we know for a fact,
I'm not that good of stuff sometimes.
based on this technology, that all 3 of you were there. You were there at 6:30, and you left the next morning, Sunday, to go up to the mountains. We know, is that your car? We know it was snowing. We know the roads were snowy. That's your car. That's the front end damage to your car.
Right?
That is your car. We know that you went up to Penguin Park. But Kevin, we also know that you probably walked into this, and it might have caught you by surprise. Heck, if I walked home and there was a guy at my house with my wife, do you know how I would react?
I'd lose it.
I'd be
That's
pissed.
a whole different situation though.
I'd be pissed.
What was the situation?
Oh, I told Heather that it was over like 6 weeks ago. She wanted to come over to see me, and I said, I just gotta get on with my life. I'm tired of you destroying my life. So I'm not her husband. I'm not, she can do whatever she wants with whoever, you know.
And this night,
Just because I still love her doesn't.
this night though, you said she's destroying your life. Kevin, I couldn't agree more. I don't know how you have dealt with this number of years. This night, when she put you in this position with this guy who is not a good guy, he's a rapist. Okay? By her putting you in this position, you had no choice. This was Heather's doing.
No.
She was with a rapist that night. You come home, she's with a guy. You are nothing but devoted to her. I can tell by the ring on your finger.
Right, but it hasn't ever done any good.
She put you in this position.
With Mike right now.
Does she wear a ring on her finger? No. But you do, and that tells me that you're devoted to her. Kevin, we need to know your side of the story.
Guys, I want to tell you, but
Then tell us.
I got there at like, I thought it was like 4:35, maybe.
Walk us through what happened when you went in the house.
Take it one step at a
I
time.
didn't go in the house, I stayed outside on the front porch. I handed my phone to her, she gave me money. She asked me to leave and I split. And I thought about going to see her kids.
But you didn't.
We know you didn't, Kevin. You stayed there.
You didn't. And this is you the next morning.
You were there all night. We know you were.
Well, whatever happened had to be so bad, I blocked it out, guys. If you guys are saying I was there, I don't remember it. I blocked it out for some reason. It was some kind of trauma.
This is your opportunity, Kevin, to get your side of the story out. And I can't accept that's your story, is that you can't remember.
Pretty terrible, huh?
The 8th, Saturday the 8th, Sunday the 9th. There's information that shows you going up to Buddha together. With Scott's body in the car.
It's gross.
Well,
In the back of that car.
You know,
Scott, or Kevin, you say it's gross, but you know what? When you're devoted like you are to Heather, you're gonna do what you have to do. And you're gonna take care of business. If that means Heather made a really big mistake and you're gonna clean it up, so be it. Because you know what? Not only are you a hard worker, but you're devoted to her, you're gonna take care of things. You're gonna take care of her. Even if she puts you in bad situations. Did she put you in a bad situation that night, Kevin? Did Heather and Scott put you in a bad situation that night?
I still don't know this gentleman you guys are calling Scott.
You know who it is. It's the guy that was found dead up in Pingree Park. It's the guy that was exchanging texts with Heather. It's the guy that was at Heather's house on Saturday night. Did the two of them put you in a bad spot?
I don't remember.
Being a devoted man, you did what you had to do.
Yeah.
I can tell this is very emotional for you, that she was communicating with this guy.
Oh, yeah.
That brings up a lot of strong
I just don't
emotions.
want to see it, yeah. That's why I had to move out, because she was doing stuff like that. And I couldn't live right there and see it. And when I moved out and she still did it, it wasn't that bad, even though I knew she was doing it, because I wasn't right there. So I'd be like reading up.
So it sounds like, pardon the saying, but ignorance is bliss. If you don't know of it, it's not happening. Kind of turning a blind eye.
It doesn't hurt as bad, yeah.
But you know what happened on Saturday night?
Reminded.
You couldn't turn a blind eye. Because Heather put you in a bad spot. You could no longer turn a blind eye on her behavior and the fact that she was with a guy that didn't deserve her. He didn't deserve to be with Heather. You deserve to be with Heather. Because you are respectful to her, you're dedicated, you're a hard worker, and you're gonna do what it takes to watch after her.
You would think that, yeah, I deserve to be with her, but
This guy didn't deserve to be with her, he was a rapist.
and I think she always goes for others.
They don't deserve her. They don't deserve her, Kevin, you do. If she's gonna treat you right.
Yeah, that's why I had to leave and get my sisters.
So you were there that night, all night, with the two of them. It was your opportunity to get your side of the story, Kevin.
I don't remember that. That was